Today we're visiting Piaget to see their newest timepiece, a world record-setting ultra-thin watch that is so thin that it's just spectacular. The new Altiplano Ultimate Concept is no more than 2 millimeters thick. 2 millimeters, that's for instance the thickness of a Swiss 5 francs coin. Or for instance your watch strap, it's at least 3 to 4 millimeters or even thicker. So imagine the entire watch within those 2 millimeters with a mainspring barrel, with an escapement, with gears, pins, bridges, etc. and even hands to indicate the correct time within 2 millimeters. That's unheard of.
Heading downtown, bracing 40.
Ultra-thin watches are a challenging art, requiring to focus on the essentials while working with the most precise tolerances. Piaget is known for their ultra-thin movements and watches, and for the world records they set in this field. Back in 1957, for instance, the brand introduced the legendary ultra-thin hand-wound caliber 9P, which was just 2 millimeters thick. 3 years later, in 1960, Piaget made a new watch, an automatic measuring 2.3 millimeters thin that was caliber 12P. Over the years, Piaget has set numerous world records in thinness. At SIHH 2018, Piaget introduces the world's thinnest mechanical watch, measuring no more than 2 millimeters in total. So we're moving from a 2 millimeter movement back in 1957 to a 2 millimeter watch 60 years later. I cannot imagine that this record will be crushed anytime soon, at least not by an actual working mechanical watch. Creating such a thin watch is not something you just start doing. It's a rather ambitious project, to say the least, and you have to be very familiar with this kind of complication. There are many do's and don'ts that you definitely want to know before you embark on such a journey. A team of engineers worked 4 years on the development of this concept watch. To ensure maximum thinness, they had to fuse case, movement and bezel into one component. The case back is also the main plate, onto which movement components have been mounted. Moreover, they had to use a new ultra-resistant cobalt alloy to ensure sufficient rigidity despite its extreme slenderness. The engineers had to develop a new ultra-thin mainspring barrel without drum and cover, and there's no bridge holding it down, and it is mounted on ball bearings into a recess that is machined directly into the case back. The glass is reduced to an absolute minimum of 0.2 millimeters, and it's integrated into the case and glued. I'm looking forward to see how Piaget will integrate all these innovations of this concept watch into future models, and compliments to Piaget for this magnificent achievement.